the first spammer of the video. I could respect some, takedown attempts with Kane, but the moment you fail a few and you constantly clinch me and try to put me against the fence over and over and over in about the span of like 30 to 60 seconds real life time, because it's accelerated clock, that's when I would consider you a spammer for sure. But, for the most part, when I'm facing these people, I try to make sure I stay calm and I take whatever they can give me. So if I have opportunities to crack the body, counter real quick, counter wrestle just like that, I'm going to try to take them. People like this, you can't really just rush because, then eventually they'll get their way. They'll get a takedown from shooting under one of your big combos. They'll double leg bail you, if you overextend too much. So I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. We hold out to R2 and we flick up to deny that, turning takedown right there. We're just trying to stay calm because so far I'm landing more than him. And we're, attacking the body really, really well. So, his cardio is one of his biggest weapons. Once you take that away, he's going to be doing less damage than he already is because he doesn't have that much power. So, compared to Tom Aspinall, at least. So, he's going to clinch me. He's going to put me against the fence. Takes the back. He goes for a back drag. So, we hold low block and we flick down as he goes to the back drag. So we're just working the body as much as we can. That's what you got to do in this situation. So, at least if he does get you to the ground at some point, at least you had a lot of his stamina chopped up due to the body work and the takedown denials. And look at that. One bites the dust. Let's go on to the second one. Second one, he didn't really start off spamming too much of the clinch and, moving forward to hooks. There's a lot of different type of spammers. There's a few broken mechanics that people spam from the slip hooks, clinching for doctor stoppages, or, spamming double leg bails a bunch. And players like that can be frustrating to go against, when that's all they're doing and they're not doing anything else. They're just trying to go for those specific mechanics. Especially at moving forward slip hook. It's kind of annoying. But he started off relatively slow, going high-low, fuzzy blocking is what we call it. That's a terminology we use. Hopefully in UFC 6 it gets penalized more. Because if I was to kick the legs more, which I would like to do in a matchup where somebody's going to try to grapple me, to fuck up their GA and make the takedowns a lot harder for them. Sometimes I accidentally check my kicks by, shading high-low block. Or just trying to protect ourselves in the clinch and back up at the right time. It's hard. Sometimes they get the free elbow, when you try to break off the clinch. So sometimes throwing a strike or two in the clinch is good to do, like a hook or a body hook. But our main weapons are going to be our teeps, because we got frontal assault with Leon Edwards, of course. Our lethal body kick power as well, or just our kick power in general is very high. It's 96. And I believe it's 99 speed because we have crazy legs, so it's +3 on the speed. Same thing for frontal assault, so my front kicks will also be at a higher speed than the base stat from the perk. So the more we chop up the leg, not only do we mess up the GA for his takedowns, because I'm assuming he's going to try to take us down at some point because, he's Kamaru Usman. Why else would you go Kamaru Usman if you're not going to at least try to wrestle and wear me down with grappling? But the teeps are also going to lower the stamina, especially if he's walking into them, queuing up a strike, or after he threw a big combo. Landing a nice teep here and there is perfect. We're able to get up right there. We go to the right. But still trying to take my time. I'm focused on winning the round more than anything when I play styles like this. Or just in general. For the most part, I like to think of the fights as winning the round. I'm not really trying to chase the finish. If the opportunities are there, I will combo up like crazy, of course. But if opportunities don't present themselves, I'm not the one to, force it. That's not my style. I mean, sometimes I force it. We all make mistakes. But with guys like this, you have to be very careful because, the way they're playing, they could definitely get some lucky stuff and get wins or get a lot of damage, win the rounds, the decision, whatever case in point. But, it's fun beating these guys sometimes, but if you play these guys often, it could be very frustrating. So if you guys play ranked like a whole bunch, man, I can't imagine what you guys go through in there because, facing styles like this that are really boring all the time and that's all you see, you know, it's not even just it's corny to play like this, but it's also like very boring. But we're still gonna take our time for the most part, make our reads. I mean, we won round 1. You know, we did get some damage. I believe he got cut on one of his eyes, I believe so. We chopped up the leg a little bit, you know, so it's gonna reduce the power slightly. You know, we haven't tagged up his leg crazy because he is going high-low, so I didn't want to throw a bunch of those, but he is gonna cut us open in the clinch. So I'm gonna have to be careful getting hit where the cut is at. But so far, we're winning the stamina battle. It's slight right now, but in my head, I'm like, it's a 5-rounder. So as long as I stick to my game plan and the way I play, I should have no problem, you know, wearing down the stamina. Try to double up right there. We get countered. You know, that was an opportunity. We took some risk. At least we landed one. But we still got to be careful. Still trying to chop the leg here and there when I get the opportunity. Block counter right there. Still just trying to use all the weapons that make Leon very lethal. And it's using that kick power, using his, you know, his teeps, and using all the major weapons. We end up dropping him right there. Gonna get back up. I wasn't really in the mood to grapple. Kind of wanted to outstrike this guy anyways. You know, because I have a thing like that where, you know, if someone's trying to grapple me or play like this, you know, I just want to outstrike them. You know, bad habit sometimes, but, you know, John Jones shit, man. Hey, see, he goes for another clinch right here. And I like to beat people, you know, how I want to beat them for the most part. And this guy, I could tell he wishes I was grappling more so he could have the opportunity to flip me over and, you know, possibly control me, wear me down. But, you know, he does get the takedown here. We're going to go right to side control. Try to go to half guard right there. Didn't work. You know, just taking my time. Waited for him to queue up a strike so we had full GA. So I went up. Took the opportunity. You know, if he denied that, we probably would have had to do a muscle modifier from there where you hold R1 and it makes those transitions faster, but costs more stamina. So, you know, be careful with that. Goes to a posture up. We deny it. We had almost full GA. You know, we went to go for it. I thought he was going to, you know, pre-deny full guard. Yeah, you see when he queues up the strike right there, we're going to go right to half guard. Still trying to take my time because I don't know how this guy grapples at all. We haven't really grappled much with this guy, so, you know, I don't know when he likes to move. But we're going to get him in the guillotine right here. Going to be racing and holding R1 immediately, cooking the stamina. We're going to see where he's going to go. We're going to go for it. There's not much time left, so, you know, I just tried going for it. That was a good race. But that's the end of round 2. Pretty sure he won this round as well. I think this is where we got the knockdown, so it's going to outdo whatever he did on the ground for the most part, of course, on the judges' scorecards. So I'm thinking like, okay, I'm still winning. So, you know, all I got to do is focus on winning, you know, like the rounds basically. And, you know, I'm sure a finish will come to me or at least a dominant decision at the very least. Pretty good at winning rounds. You know, not saying I could do it against everybody, but I'd say I'm pretty skilled with it. You know, I like to use low kicks. I like to use a lot of my weapons where I could land extra shots on you. If you're over prioritizing your boxing, you know, I'm going to use more kicks and, you know, land more strikes and do more cumulative damage. Depends who I'm using though. You know, some people don't. Some fighters I use don't have kicks, but most of them do because I love to kickbox for the most part. Nice cross body kick, very simple combo. Teep to reset, back up. Still trying to take my time. I'm slowly wearing him down, as you can see with the stamina. We definitely got a bigger stamina lead now, so now we're gonna try to maintain that by continuing to work that body with our teeps, the body kicks, everything that makes Leon lethal. Because with the high move levels, the high kick power, and as fast as it comes out, it is very deadly and it adds up very quickly. Unfortunately, we get countered because we queued up a strike, so that activates full vulnerability, so we do get rocked. And we're just trying to recover, not really overextend. Throw a nice check hook to get out the corner. That's what I like to do sometimes. Or maybe throw like a cross to the body or a rear body hook. Those things help you get out those situations. But you still got to be careful with it because anything can be countered, of course, depending what range they're at. My head health's getting low. You know, my cut is not looking the greatest. And he's starting to turn up the pressure now, so I'm not really going to panic because, yeah, we do get rocked here, unfortunately. But we have some good head movement. He's overextending and just wasting the rest of his stamina. You know, if he was a smarter player, he would have definitely waited a little bit and, you know, just focused on winning round 3. And he wasted, like, so much stamina just trying to get that finish. It's not even worth it. Tries to go for a slip again. Hit him with another teep. Walks right into it. Goes for another slip hook. And he's pre-ducking for the block counter. Try to do another teep to reset the distance right there. He threw a kick at improper range. Well, it was kind of proper range, but, you know, he crashed in. Rock him through the clinch. And that's why you got to be careful with kicks. Sometimes people crash in and, you know, they crack you with a nice combo. Nice teep right there while he was trying to... Ooh, nasty mix-up right there with the block counter. And just like that, finished. Headshot. You know, players like that are very boring, but hope you guys enjoyed.